Hi everyone, welcome to my community, the Tacony section of Philadelphia. Tacony is one of the oldest occupied neighborhoods in Philadelphia, and actually about 2 years ago it was noted to be an historic community. It is rich in both Irish and Italian culture historically. 52% of the population is female, while 48% is male, and the median age is just around 35 years old. 35% of our area is rented. 82% of the population are high school graduates or higher. There is a 9% unemployment rate in this area, and Tacony is close to all modes of transportation, except the regional rails. It's very easy to get around to shopping centers and malls and work for those that live here. We are an ethnically diverse area. This pie chart shows that 67% is a white population, 18.7% is African American. There is a 2.6% Asian population, a 16.2% Hispanic population, and then there are small populations of American Indian and Pacific Islander. Our poverty rate is pretty high. It's at 19.1%. Crimes in this area, while there are some major crimes, most of the crime in this area is theft, and the data on this slide shows that most of the crime in the area is theft at over 1,200. There are 873 assaults that were reported, 407 counts of vandalism, 200 counts of burglary, and 190 robberies in the past year. This is 2017 data. Nobody likes to see crime in their neighborhood, and the hope is that through other associations within our neighborhood, crime can be reduced. Important institutions in our neighborhood, both formal and informal, include the following. There is a Tacony Civic Association. These members assist neighbors with all things associated within the neighborhood. The population is not as high as we would like it. We would like more members. There's a Tacony Town Watch. These are volunteers from the neighborhood who walk around the streets to ensure crimes are not being committed, and if they are, they are the eyes and ears of the police department and will contact police. Yearly there is the Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's a fun day for families to line the streets and watch the parade come down, and it always ends with Santa Claus. And then another important institution is the Mayfair Diner. Many may be familiar with this. Presidents have used this along their campaign trails. It always draws a big crowd, and it's held in one of our major intersections here in Tacony. There is the picture of the Mayfair Diner as it stands today, and they do have really good breakfast. Dietz & Watson is also a long-time establishment here. It moved to this location in 1975, and it employs several hundred people. And you may know them for their lunch meats and hot dogs and other various meats. My assessment of my community. I have lived in my community for over 18 years. Prior to this, I lived in the community next to this. I grew up there for 20 plus years. Clearly, I love the area I grew up in, or I would not have stayed here to marry and raise my children. And while the community strives to achieve the 9 key elements of a good community, there is always room for improvement. Our neighbors and my neighborhood is filled with good, hardworking people who look out for each other. Several times a year we hold street cleanings where everyone comes together to clean up the neighborhood, clean up the streets. You can meet new neighbors. The police department also comes to involve themselves with the neighbors so that we can put faces to the police department and become friendly. Our town watch also holds monthly meetings to address any issues or concerns that are going on in the neighborhood. Again, I had stressed earlier that we do need more volunteers and more attendance in this town watch in order for it to be successful. Because of the volunteers within this town watch, our neighborhood is a relatively safe place to live, work, and raise your children. Our community has many playgrounds and recreation centers for children and families to participate, and there are a few libraries that offer many programs, especially in the summertime, to kids and families to get them off the streets, involved in programming, and the libraries are air conditioned, so it's a good place to go to cool off. Some changes I would like to see within my community are primarily an increase in participation within our civic association and town watch. Our saying of late is, if you see something, say something. And I strongly believe that when people are vested in their homes and neighborhoods, there's more pride and care taken. I would also like to see a reduction in out-of-state landlords. It's those properties, in my experience and around my neighborhood, that we have seen that are not properly taken care of and have become havens for negative activity. Many of those properties become overgrown. The occupants are not necessarily vested in the property and don't take care of the outdoors. And it's these out-of-state landlords that we believe are contributing to this because they are not there to see what is going on. Continued work is needed for communities like mine and everyone else's to thrive and be places people want to live. People need to get involved within their communities to make them successful. And I believe that every neighborhood could be successful if everybody does their part and takes pride in their properties and takes care of the people around them. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and any questions can be addressed on the site. Thank you.